has reported a haste at Bank of Uganda. Some reports have indicated $17 million, that's about 62 billion shillings. Others have indicated $13 million, that's about 48 billion shillings. And some narratives are there was a hacking by some people in South Asia, and this money was swiped to accounts in Asia. Other reports indicate it was an inside job of Bank of Uganda. It alarmed me because this is our central bank. Right, Honourable Speaker, in the past couple of months, nearly every 2 months, you will hear of a haste at a commercial bank. Now, commercial banks, those are privately owned, it bothers us, but when it comes to the central bank, it's more problematic. And I'll tell you why I found it problematic. Let me read to you a section of the Bank of Uganda Act, Section 4.1, about the functions of the central bank. The functions of the central bank shall be to formulate and implement monetary policy directed to economic objectives of achieving and maintaining economic stability. That's how serious the role of Bank of Uganda is, locally and internationally. I've seen even international media houses report about this, and that does affect us in every sense. I thought government, through the Ministry of Finance, should help us understand, because you supervise the operations of Bank of Uganda to an extent. Yes, it's autonomous, but you're the overseers. It's important that we know what exactly is happening at our central bank. If monies are being siphoned, whether it be by hackers, whether it be by staff of Bank of Uganda, it should worry all of us.
Honourable Law.
Yes, Right Honourable Speaker.
Could you help us find out where was it?
In the New Vision, in the Daily Monitor.
You have it in the Monitor.
And they have been reporting about this almost on a daily basis, giving an update. So government should not continue to be quiet about this matter. We want to know what exactly is happening. Through you, Right Honourable Speaker.
If you have the New Vision, please help us.
That reported about this haste, and there are several others that I can avail to the Minister of Finance. But for now, I'll lay this one on table. To some of these things, but government through the Ministry of Finance has considered. Of course, now he has thrown things a bit off balance. So he's saying, no, it might not be entirely factual, even though there was a haste. That clarity should have come, because if he's saying these figures are wrong, what are the correct figures? However, he is talking about an ongoing audit.
There's an audit.
How long is it going to happen? When are we going to get a report as Parliament on this matter? Because you see, the reason we are insisting on this matter, when the network firewalls of the central bank are penetrated, it is something that gets to worry all of us. That's why we are insistent on this.
Yes, issues of monies are issues of security. You don't discuss it just anyhowly. Don't discuss it anyhowly.
1 month, there is no continuous hacking happening, because all those are matters that are of concern to us, because the month might elapse and then we hear this. Because nearly on a monthly basis, Right Honourable Speaker, and I believe you're a consumer of intelligence information.
No,
commercial banks have been hacked very regularly. So there must be something that is convoluted that we need to have a good understanding of, because it's even the commercial banks, they host monies belonging to the Ugandan citizens. So
can we have your report now that you brought that very important information?
Madam Speaker, I agree with your guidance and the plea from the Minister of Finance. What a responsible government does is to issue an interim statement reassuring the public, disclosing what will not prejudice the investigations. A responsible government does not stand up in Parliament and say, we are investigating, we will not tell you anything. Because by you saying you are going to investigate, you are even carrying out an audit, you have actually admitted that you don't know. That's why you are investigating, that's why you are auditing. You share with the public on whose behalf you transact business, government business, on an interim basis, what so far you know and you think is not a danger. But you don't plead that I am not going to say anything. You see, this matter. So, Madam Speaker, I thought that I am asking NRM government to be what they cannot, to be responsible, but I think they can learn at least to try. Then we will forgive you that at least you are trying. I sit on the budget committee. This parliament moved money from items that parliament did not consider essential. You went in the cabinet and castigated parliament. The minister now is saying, I need support from parliament, which was made almost at gunpoint to restore what the chief executive called the priorities. Is she in order to come here and begin mocking parliament that it can give her money when what was given was taken away? I was born in Masaka. I usually go home. That bridge in Katonga, which was swept away now more than 3 years ago, hasn't been fixed. So are many others before you raise the new one. So the procedure issue I am raising, Madam Speaker, you listed also disasters in your communication and forgot one disaster that befell this country. The disaster of NRM, 38 years in power. So the procedure issue I am raising, Madam Speaker,
Which disaster was that?
the disaster of NRM that befell this country 38 years ago.
Which disaster was that?
The NRM coming into power was a disaster.
No.
So I am.
That was not a disaster.
I
Come
thought you will
on.
allow me and rule after.
You
So
first
can I
listen.
raise?
Because I don't know the disaster you are talking about. There is no disaster called the NRM.
No, I thought you will allow
bury-
me to raise the issue and then you rule, Madam Speaker.
Let me tell you, Honorable
Okay.
Ssemuju, Honorable
So can I-
Ssemuju Ibrahimu, let's have respect for each other, for each other's party. If we are talking about serious matters, where floods are taking people, floods are killing people, nobody in your constituency will take you serious because you've talked about a disaster of NRM that has stabilized this country for the 38 years.
If what you are saying, and I don't want to engage with you, Madam Speaker, then we wouldn't have MPs here from the ruling party, correct? They should be coming here to celebrate. But each one of them, they are taking our time. We should be the one complaining. Each one of them, if you allow them, they will stand here and complain. Then they will go and say NRM oil. So I am only saying, Madam Speaker, that until, because the chair, you pardon me if she is not, has also been complaining. So everybody is complaining. So what motivates you to support a government that makes you complain? What motivates you? And then you come here and begin complaining. So the procedure issue I am raising, allow me, Madam Speaker, is whether this parliament should not deal with NRM disaster that does not prioritize all roads, that is making you cry. You have heard my brother from Bunyore saying they shouldn't bring a supplementary. Whether that's not the substantive issue we should be dealing with. And then, because your president is now touring bridges that have collapsed and you are here. He's in your area touring.
Honorable Ssemuju.
But Madam Speaker, the procedure matter I'm raising, a while ago you talked about the Minister for Presidency. And on several occasions before this Parliament, I've complained and I've raised procedure matters of ministers who are ever absent here. One time I talked about Honorable Minister Mayanja with the issues of attacking Uganda Kingdom and missing Parliament over 100 times. Now here we are. You talked about Minister for Presidency here. She's also another ex-official who doesn't appear. But we have issues, any issues dealing with the President. The Minister for Presidency
Honorable.
Issue on the Minister for Presidency. There is a gentleman in Kalungu called Mr. Ssemuju Vincent. I think he is a combatant, but this man was conned by State House operatives to get access to the president, and he paid them 20 million to see the president. And my interest, Minister for Presidency, through the Speaker, is to know how can somebody who wants to meet a president of the country have to pay money? What criteria do they use? This is an old man who's going to die. Spending, what's the price or the right price of meeting General Museveni in State House by his own combatants?
Honorable members.
And who are those people conning? People from Karungu, where I come from.
Honorable
20
members.
million, Mr. Vincent Ssemuju.
Honorable
Madam
members, listen to. You're finished.
Madam Speaker, this story is not a joke. It comes from the government paper, New Vision. This is New Vision writing a full page of somebody conning.
Honorable members,
Thank you,
the
Madam
president has always said, no, he does not, nobody should be charged money for seeing him. If that perpetrator is doing that, then he should be brought to book. He is not an agent of the president. Honorable Mayanja,